That was fabulous. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Laura Esquivel. I'm the Director of National Advocacy for Hispanic Federation. And we're just going to have a little conversation here.
Yes, sure.
So I'm going to ask you some questions. Thank you so much for that. Was very rousing. So my first question is, immediately after the hurricane, you created a task force of mayors from the southern region to take on recovery. And as you said, Ponce is the second largest city in Puerto Rico.
Territorial extension.
Territory and extensions.
Other will get jealous because this is not about population, it's about territorial extension. It's a big one.
So what do mayors and municipalities need to recover better in terms of being able to provide functioning local services? You've estimated that Ponce alone will require $1 billion to rebuild.
Well, first of all, there are one of the projects that I am just presenting to the CDBG-DR and the housing department is that we have to reconstruct the port in one area. We have 8 berths. This is a port that is owned by the municipality. There are 2 ports that belong to municipalities, the Port of Mayagüez and the Port of Ponce. The other port belong to the government. So it is important that we realign the berths 1 and 2 to get more ships coming in. Because they said that it was a transshipment port. This is not a transshipment port. Things have changed in the marine merchandise world. More, when the analysis were made for the Port of Puerto Rico, of Ponce, Port of America now is the authority of Ponce. And now we are 2 co-presidents. The president of I co-preside co-presidency the port with the Secretary of Economic Development and the mayor of Ponce. How the mayor of Ponce was taken out 5 years ago. If you have to reconstruct the city, if you are trying to do business, if you are trying to prosper in the people and getting more employees and trying to do business, how will you take out the mayor of Ponce? Any mayor. I am a woman, but they took me out. So if we realign it, it will need, and it will help not Ponce, the whole area of Ponce. Santa Isabel goes everything he produced in agriculture. Only 9 containers can be sent to Ponce, to San Juan, to sell outside Puerto Rico. In Ponce, no way. He can use any containers he wants. If he wants 15, 20, he can do it. So realigning that. There is a beautiful place in Ponce. It's called La Guancha. It's in the beach. So it's a beautiful space. You have kiosk, people dance, drink, do many things during the weekends from Thursday to Sunday. The boardwalk was all destroyed. There were boats down the boardwalk. So we have to reconstruct it. Who used it? Before Maria, 2,000 people crying every day. After Maria, we have received from Thursday to Sunday, 14,000 people because we have electricity, we have power, we move the economy, we open all the store, we open store. We gave seminars to pymes, the medium and small stores. The big stores were functioning, but they were with generators. I don't care, it was generators by that time. Now, no generators are using in those stores. We are using electricity. But electricity, this morning Richard said, it get down in the north part of Puerto Rico. It's 2 weeks ago, it's happening again. It has to be modernized. It will help all the way to all the mayors. And the mayors of Guayanilla, Peñuelas, the mayor of Guanadillas, the mayor of Yauco, the mayors of some mayors of the South came to me and said, hey, you have 5 hierarchy. That means that autonomous municipality, we can give permits. So they said, if we unite each one with you don't have to go to San Juan to ask for permits. We can share the profits. And in your office is alliances with municipalities. I believe in alliances of service. not to disappear municipalities. Alliances for serving the people. This city can do this, the other city can do this, and we can share. That's one of the important things.
Great, thank you so much. So my next question is about what you need from the federal government. And, you know, I don't want to just bash the federal government. I'm very interested in what it is that you need on the ground that you feel like you need. So what commitments from the federal government are required to have a functioning, economically stable Puerto Rico, and how would you rate the federal
But
government so far?
if we have managed federal funds, if we have, and they has been monitoring for years, our system, our financial system now is digitalized. You can imagine there are cities that are not digitalized their financial method. I mean, when I get there, I said, "You doing things by paper, by palitos or slashes?" No, my friends, we have to digitalize everything, and we did it. Then, if I am monitoring by the federal agency, I do the right documents, I get the right things. All my papers, my project worships from FEMA were validated. They give us in advance $2 million. After that, we validate those $2 million. Now, the federal government owe me, FEMA, more than 3 to 4 millions. We have done the job. They has been monitoring all my system, and they have given a percentile average of 104% of doing things rightly. But it's the truth. You have to explain it the truth, because in 2 years, be careful, you will be checked and monitoring again. And if you did something wrong, you will go to jail. And my mother and my father teach me one thing, to all my sisters. We were sisters. We are all professionals, and they said to us, "We are not giving you any, left you money, no. We gave you a good education. You are professionals. When you go in your work, and you go out, raise your head always. You cannot do this, because you are proud of what you are doing." I have taught my daughter to do that. I am proud of them. They are 2 lawyers, and we have taught them. We are models. And here are women's. Next week is the day in the world, Women's Day. We have to be proud. We have to make commitments. We are prepared, well-trained women. Don't be afraid to participate in any organization. Express your way, doing it with transparency, honestly, and doing the work to serve the people. That's my passion, serving the people.
Okay, great, thank you. So you were talking about the CDBG fund. So HUD has just announced public hearings in Puerto Rico to get input on the action plan for disbursement of the $1.5 billion allocated in funds for Puerto Rico. There would normally be a longer period for public comment, but in this first round, it's only going to be 5 days, starting next week, March 5th to March 10th, and Ponce, the hearings on March 9th.
And Ponce will be the 9th.
Yes. So it's critically important to get public input into these and other plans for the recovery and for the spending of federal dollars, particularly to raise issues designed to ensure the housing needs of very low-income people so that they benefit from these federal disaster resources. How can municipalities help ensure that there is meaningful public input? I mean, there isn't a website with there was one notice in the newspaper about the hearings next week all over and people get 5 minutes to speak. That's it.
Well,
so how can we make sure?
I mean, one of the things I heard here this morning before getting to this is that Teachers Federation, Teachers Association, Hispanic Association of Teachers should outside get any type of doing things going to the Congress. I have been in Congress talking. I saw Elizabeth Warren. I talked to Bernie Sanders. I talked to the Chief of Appropriation Committee in House of Representatives in the Senate, and we asked for help. We have a commissioner here, President Commissioner, who is a woman, and she's doing an excellent job. The governor is still coming every week to United States, to D.C., to tell them, hey, help Puerto Rico, treated us equally, because you can be sure of this thing. If there are Puerto Rican citizens, Puerto Ricanos, in your state, in your city, I will go in with the governor or without the governor alone to talk to them. If your congressman don't sign a bill or a proposal or a supplemental to help the people of Puerto Rico, to help reconstruct the island, and I will say, don't vote for him. He or she didn't help Puerto Rico. That's the way we have to talk. We have to press, and we have to tell them, take care of Puerto Rico. We have fight. You heard the first senator this morning. We have been fighting in the wars. We are the first one. We're responders. So 5 minutes, I have 5 projects. And I will talk in 5 minutes. What happened? How do we reconstruct? And what I want in 5 minutes. I have a team that is working. This weekend, we will still working. Presenting the estimates, presenting the projects. We have been taking seminars in federal with FEMA, with the governor and his agency to talk about the future projects we are going to do it. But let me tell you, I taking care of my project, giving the money to the municipality, because you can monitor my municipality. I am in a financial crisis, but I am doing the work honestly with transparency.
Okay, and so how can we help ensure that there's meaningful public participation in the developing of these plans?
We have the news. The news there was in the news. This hour was in the news. I have 5 persons from the community. One was from the industrial, another was from the community itself. She's a leader. The other one is a member of the small and medium industries. Mm-hmm. The other one was the president of the industrial zone of Ponce, and he was the president of the Chamber of Commerce. He's representing in this whole group. He's working with us. Mm-hmm. And the other one is a teacher. He's a teacher who do sport, and he teaches sport and math. And he's working with us in those projects. So they will be, and they will present also 5 minutes presentation to the CDBG DRD's efforts to get a project for Ponce.
Okay, great. So do I have time for one more question? Just one more. Okay, great. So we know that some communities had to wait until February or to even get visited by FEMA, and presumably some are still waiting. Ponce is located at the southern end of the island in a mountainous region. Mm-hmm. How is that making recovery more difficult? What are some of the challenges of the rural areas?
For example, we gave at the beginning, I sat with Alejandro de la Campa, who was in charge. I have talked with Mike Berry. I have talked even with Brock Long, the person in charge in FEMA here in D.C. I have talked with everyone. I knock doors. I am vocal. And I have told them, okay, you need a federal medical station? I have it in the sport arena. You have central distribution? I will give you a central distribution and put my employees over there working until January. And they have been working Saturday, giving food and water. What else? You need a building? Okay, I have a green building made by our administration. Okay, I will give you without charge. And you can receive 49,000 what's the name?
I don't know,
Quejas, problems. Complaints. You have 49,000 complaints up to now. So do the work. They were slowly at the beginning with the blue roof. Mm-hmm. And the Army Corps of Engineers, I told them, there are many structures that are damaged. So you will not prepare for that. It will take too long for you. So what they did, they hired local person from Ponce, companies from Peñuela, from other places, and put all the blue tarps, and people had those blue tarps for 1 year. So we are preparing many things, and it's important. It's important that we help them. It's important that we talk to them. Difficulties, yes, is the power. Difficulty is that. Difficulty is the debris, the cleaning of the area. We have cleaned the north, the south, and the east of Ponce. Now and the west of Ponce. Now it has to be cleaned after 5 months. After 5 months. If electricity powers goes on in any state, in any city of mainland, in 5 hours, it will be a chaos. In Puerto Rico, we have been without power in some areas for 5 months. You are not treating me equally. I'm sorry. But we're doing it. And FEMA is where the work is also doing the Army Corps of Engineers, but the electricity PREPA has to move it more. And we asked the senators, we asked FEMA, we made a letter asking them, is there extension to get the reimbursement 100% to those Americans company that come from here from mainland to restore the electric system were hired by PREPA, by the government company, power company, extend, give the intention. I think that I heard, I tried to get the document that the president was going to sign the extension. The Congress just made the request also, and I think the president is going to sign that extension for this 100% reimbursement for them, so they will stay.
Yeah.
You have to be at work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, not from 8 to 4. Monday through Friday.
I think we need to move on to the next panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all
Mayor
of you.
Melendez, for your passion and your hard work. I really encourage all of you to search her on the Google and find, there's an amazing YouTube video of her that shows photos of what she's talking about, because words is one thing, seeing what is actually happening on the ground is something else. So thank you very much.